And good evening, everyone. I'm David Clue.
And I'm Dawn Baker, continuing to follow breaking news out of downtown Savannah, where a truck has exploded on Montgomery Street. We have team coverage right now with Connie Cooper and Sean Evans. Let's start with Connie, who is live in Franklin Square in City Market. Connie, this appears to be accidental, right?
Very important. This appears to be accidental, and no one appears to be hurt. That is amazing. When you take a look at this truck behind me, it is literally just a mess of tangled metal after this explosion. That driver got out, walking around, answering questions, talking to people. You can see the investigators looking, trying to figure out what happened here. Take a look at this debris field that was left whenever this explosion happened, going all the way down this street to that yield sign, literally covering this entire city block, a very busy city block between two hotels, and no one was hit by debris. This, according to police. We can take a look at some video that we shot a little bit earlier. All this happening about 8:45 p.m. Police say the driver of that truck was rounding a corner on Montgomery between Bay and Bryan Streets. He was carrying two chemicals that together are highly flammable, oxygen and acetylene. Preliminary investigation indicates that these chemicals may have rattled together to cause that explosion. This happening right in front of the historic First African Baptist Church, arguably the oldest black congregation in North America, and happening during a time when police and the nation are obviously on high alert.
Right now we see no cause for additional concern. Initially there was some concern that this may have been something other than what it was. It appears to be just a freak accident at this point.
An update here, Bay Street is now reopened. It was closed down for a time. The only thing that's closed down right now is Franklin Square. Pedestrians can't go in and out. Vehicles can't go in and out. I want to give you guys an idea of just how close this happened to First African. I'm standing on the steps of First African. We can pan over right here. This is the front door. You can see just how close this really was and why police were on such a high alert. We spoke to some witnesses just a moment ago. They were in town shooting, they said, a new Adam Sandler film. They said that they heard the explosion. They were about 20 seconds away, and that it took police, get this, about 2 minutes to get everything set up, to get this taped off, cordoned off, so no one could come in or out. We heard them calling out a tactical alert across all precincts, and very quickly, I arrived here probably within 7 minutes. Police were already here and had it all taped off. So an extremely excellent job they did. We're going to toss it over to Sean Evans, who spoke with some witnesses.
All right, and kudos to Metro Police as well as Savannah Fire for their response to this. Connie, thank you for that. We do want to turn now to Sean Evans, who joins us live from the intersection of Bay Street and Montgomery.
Well, as we know, Sean spoke with some witnesses who were there when it happened, and we just can't imagine how terrifying it was for some of them this evening.
Oh, that's right, guys. It's definitely a night that many around here will not forget anytime soon. The scene behind me on Montgomery Street is definitely a head-turner. The remains of the pickup truck are scattered from one side to the other of Montgomery Street, just off of Bay Street. People still milling around looking at what's going on here. Now, since it happened, hundreds of people enjoying a dinner or just a night out in City Market and all around this area really stopped to see what was going on. And bystanders I've spoken to have described the explosion to me, likening it to a huge firework going off that never left the ground. Now, people who were on River Street even told me that when it happened, they felt the ground shake. Now, listen to this account one man gave me who was eating dinner near Franklin Square when all this happened.
I was just sitting in the restaurant right down a block away, and just big explosion happened. It sounded like the window was going to break. It shattered. Everyone took off running out of the restaurant. Everyone came running down the street. It was a little spooky, you know, because you didn't know. I mean, somebody set something off in this truck, you know, what's going on. I'm right here next to it, you know, so, you know, we're all in this area. And so a lot of chaos was going on.
Now, again, with our report from Connie Cooper, we learned that this is an accidental thing right now that we're learning about. And with the investigation continuing at this point, the biggest impact in the area is traffic, with this stretch of Montgomery Street being shut down. As Connie Cooper also said, Franklin Square being shut down. And, of course, we'll keep you posted as the investigation wraps up and the streets reopen. Reporting live in downtown Savannah, Sean Evans, WTOC News.
Thank you. That explosion creating quite a mess for locals and tourists in the area for a few hours tonight until police could determine what exploded exploded, and whether it still posed a threat, they closed down several city blocks around Franklin Square. Parts of MLK, Bay Street, Congress, Bryan, Montgomery, and Jefferson were shut down. The city market also closed for more than an hour as a precaution.
We have just learned Franklin Square has just reopened within the last few moments. So here's a recap of what we know about tonight's explosion. Around 8:30 this evening, witnesses saw and felt a huge blast near the Hilton Garden Inn South on Franklin Square. When police and hazmat crews arrived, they found that at least one pressurized welding tank in the bed of a work truck that had exploded, sending shrapnel hundreds of feet and destroying the truck. Amazingly, no one was hurt. In fact, even the driver of that truck walked away. As soon as hazmat crews and police determined there was no danger to the public and it had passed, they reopened City Market and many of the streets that had been closed as a precaution.
Let's take a look now at our WTOC.com homepage. You can continue to check back right here throughout the night and the morning. We're going to continue to update our website and social media sites with the latest information. In fact, I just posted video of the actual scene to my Facebook fan page at WTOC David Clue.
Well, new at 11, we're learning more information tonight about a Savannah duplex that caught fire today. Savannah firefighters tell us that they were working to determine the cause of the fire. As you can imagine, firefighters approached the scene and they could see the smoke in the air and heavy flames on their way. 2 residents were home at the time and were able to escape, but one firefighter taken to the hospital after suffering a knee injury. He is expected to be okay.
There was significant damage to the structure, and there was a power line that was laying down across the street when our firefighters arrived. So they're being displaced, and it's 2 on each side of the duplex that will be displaced.
The American Red Cross is assisting the 4 displaced residents. Officials say evidence suggests that the fire may have started in the laundry room, but they are continuing their investigation.
And then there was this, a Bluffton family feeling lucky tonight after a fire in their home caught the attention of neighbors early enough to save the house. That fire in the Westbury Park subdivision was reported shortly after 4 this afternoon. Firefighters from the Bluffton Township Fire District responded. They were able to contain that fire to a single room on the 3rd floor. There were no injuries reported. No cause has been released. And happening today, folks gathered at the Ashbury Memorial United Methodist Church in Savannah for Ribbons for a Reason. That's an event held to remember the victims of gun violence right here in Chatham County. In fact, last year, 25 people, 7 of them children, killed by guns in the county. In fact, the victim count has been on the steady increase since 2011. So far this year, 19 people have been killed by guns since the beginning of the year, and we're just halfway through 2015. In an effort to bring attention to these unacceptable numbers, everyone at today's ceremony tied orange ribbons to the church's courtyard fence.
Gun control has been on our minds. I've done a funeral for a child who was cleaning a weapon. Just education, not talking about getting rid of people's guns, but having smart, common sense laws.
The congregation also plans to incorporate the ribbon tying ceremony into Sunday services.
Well, I tell you, I certainly enjoyed today.
Yeah.
It almost seems like we have this cool snap going on compared to what we had gotten so used to.
Yeah, I'm just so glad the humidity is kind of a little bit lower anyway, but the temperatures have also been really nice.
Instead of the upper 90s, we're in the upper 80s today to about 90 degrees. But unfortunately, this evening, a line of instability has developed. We're seeing showers and thunderstorms extending across the north and central portions of the region. As a matter of fact, the thunderstorms now over in Effingham County, moving into southern Hampton and Jasper County, are severe and still producing strong, damaging winds. We have reports of some wind damage over in the Bullock County area in around Statesboro about 9 or 10 o'clock this evening from that thunderstorm. Well, I'll be back to look at more of this information and the rest of the First Alert forecast coming up shortly.
All right. The holiday weekend is, of course, almost here, and many of you will spend all or part of it at the beach or maybe the pool. Well, to help keep you safe, the American Red Cross is issuing some steps that you should consider following. Only swim in designated areas. Keep a close eye on the young ones and on other inexperienced swimmers. Wear sunscreen. Don't forget to reapply often. And stay hydrated, folks. Take more water than you think you'll need. Chances are you will drink it. Coming up, an attempt to destroy a Georgia Walmart. All caught on camera. Now the search is on for the dozens responsible. That story is next. Welcome back. Police in Macon are hoping to make dozens of arrests by the end of this week. This follows a group of some 40 teens walking into a Walmart store and trashing the place, all of it caught on security tape.
A dropped cell phone led to one arrest. Noel Saunders found out police are now hoping that phone will lead to dozens more.
A surveillance video released Wednesday from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office shows a crowd of teens destroying thousands of dollars worth of merchandise at the Walmart store on Zebulon Road. The police report says 40 to 50 teens entered the store around 1:45 Sunday morning and immediately began throwing and shattering items. Walmart managers declined to speak on camera, but a spokesperson for all the stores released a statement saying, "We are working with the police in their investigation. Our management team responded immediately and contacted the police department. We take the safety of our customers and associates very seriously." Investigators arrested one of the teens, 17-year-old Karan Green, the same morning when he returned to the store after dropping his cell phone. Deputies say Green's parents recognized their son on store video and turned him in. Nobody was at Green's home on Ashton Drive when we stopped by Wednesday. Lieutenant Randy Gonzalez with the Bibb County Sheriff's Office calls the crime bizarre.
This is my first time ever experiencing something like this happening because in my years of law enforcement.
Gonzalez says Green told deputies the teens were at a large gathering before the crime.
Any of the parents with children that may know that their children were at this party that Mr. Green spoke about on the south side that night would come forward if they know that their child was there or if they know their child participated.
Green is charged as an adult with enticing a riot, second-degree criminal damage to property, and street gang activity after one of the store cameras shows him throwing a gang sign.
Well, Green is scheduled to go before a Superior Court judge on gang activity charges next week. Well, let's take a live look outside with our WTOC B&D Burgers downtown Skycam. We like that calm picture from this camera because it was a lot different story earlier tonight. It is now 83 degrees. Pat is up next with our first alert forecast.
Been talking all night about this great weather. Please tell me it's going to continue.
Well, the great weather in the afternoon, but in the evening, now we're getting some thunderstorms we have to pay attention to as well, particularly in Jasper County now. It has just moved out of Effingham County. We had reports of some damaging winds in and around Portal and Statesboro when it passed through there around 10 o'clock this evening. This storm has been rapidly moving eastward at about 40 miles per hour, now moving out across the Savannah River into Jasper County right now. The southern portion of Hampton County under the warning, but it looks like it's going to miss that as it's moving in toward the Furman area of Jasper County and just to the west of the area around Ridgeland, South Carolina. A lot of gusty winds associated with this and some tree damage associated with it. Also, lightning strikes been seen from this particular storm as well. There you can see the lightning is still very vivid associated with this storm. Now moving across into Beaufort County, into the city of Beaufort. And earlier, Beaufort had a lot of lightning around Fripp Island as it moved off into the Atlantic Ocean. You can still see the lightning flashing there. And off to the west, we're still seeing some lightning associated with the area to the west of Vidalia and the Lyons area at the moment. And looking at a broader view, you can see the clouds associated with these thunderstorms. Another band trying to develop to the north of Hazelhurst right now, Jeff Davis County and Wheeler County and Telfair County. That's all moving toward the east as well. Another band of storms off to the north in Missouri, and another one over here in northern Alabama into southern portions of Tennessee. That may swing around into our area throughout the day tomorrow, giving us more chances for showers and thunderstorms. But today we saw the highs reaching into the lower 90s instead of the upper 90s like they had been last week and the week before. We're starting off July as a very decent way to start the month of July. Now, for the month of June, we averaged actually 2.8 degrees above the normal. June was a hot month this year. Now, when you compare it to other years in the past, the last 8 years, we had some very hot Junes. Up to 2011 was very hot. Then we cooled down, but now we're inching ourselves back up. Now, what this means, this is cooling degree days, and this is a strong indication what your electric bill is going to look like. And compared to the last couple of Junes, your electric bill is going to be a little bit higher, but probably less than what you paid in 2011 when the extremely hot temperatures prevailed that year. Now, for tonight, a 30% chance still for more showers and thunderstorms. Low dropping down to about 73 degrees. For tomorrow, expect to see a 50% chance for showers and thunderstorms. Again, temperature about 91 degrees for the high. And as we look ahead for the next several days, expect to see the rain chance dropping to 30% Friday and Saturday and 20% on Sunday. But the key here is the temperatures. They stay at the normal levels for this time of the year, which is 92 and 93, and that's the forecast. And hence, no upper 90s or lower 100s for the 4th of July weekend. That part is very good.
Oh, yeah. That is very good and seems very rare, because it seems like 4th of Julys are always just
It's usually the hottest day, hottest and humid days of the year. Right.
Yeah, exactly. All right. We are back in just a moment. Continuing to follow that truck explosion in downtown Savannah, this one near Franklin Square.
Yeah, our Sean Evans is on the scene. He's going to show you some video now and narrate what he's showing that's still going on at this hour.
That's right, Dave and Don. One amazing thing about all of this, the man you're seeing right now in frame in the orange T-shirt looking around the truck right now is the driver of that truck. Police tell me that he miraculously was unharmed, just a little rattled, as you can imagine, after an explosion of this magnitude, but he's been walking around the scene, picking things up. I'm going to zoom out here so you can see exactly how wide this debris field is again right now. But this is Montgomery Street, just off of Bay Street, that you're looking at right now. Again, just looks like the truck exploded. I mean, that's all you can really say. You see shrapnel, pieces of the truck scattered all over the roadway here. Some of it flew across Bay Street, I'm told, by bystanders, went across Bay Street. And right now, tow trucks are here looking like they're getting ready to load up the remains of this pickup truck right now. So, again, we have learned a little bit of new information for you. Franklin Square is back open. As you can see, the crime scene tape in front of me right here, this stretch of Montgomery is still shut down, will be until they get all of this debris cleared out from Montgomery Street. So we're going to stay here on scene and keep you posted, let you know when this is back open. And, of course, any new details from the investigation, we'll pass those along as soon as we get them. Reporting live in downtown Savannah, Sean Evans, WTOC News.
A reminder for everybody, if you're going out tonight, just avoid that area of City Market, Franklin Square, throughout the downtown area. It's going to be cordoned off, so it's a good night to stay inside.
Opening things up, but not that fast. So so stay away from that area for sure. Sports is coming up next. Stay right there.
Losing 9 straight to the Nationals has been tough. Braves haven't scored any runs off of Washington starters in over 27 innings. Tonight at Turner Field, proof that sometimes you just need something to break things up. After a 2-hour, 9-minute rain delay, A.J. Perninsky hits his 5th home run. Jose Uribe hits his 6th back-to-back home runs. Your score right now, Atlanta leads at 4-1. They are in the top of the 7th inning. In historic Grayson Stadium tonight, Savannah playing host to Augusta, scoreless in the bottom of the 2nd. Joe Turshak with the base hit up the middle. That brings in John LaRue for the 1-0 Sandnet lead. Augusta comes back to win at 5-2 as Savannah wastes a 12-hit night. Sandnats have 2 more games in this homestand as we approach Independence Day. There will be fireworks after Friday night's game. The United States will face Japan on Sunday in the World Cup final. England's Laura Bassett scores her own goal during the second half stoppage time. That gives Japan the 2-1 victory. What a way to go out. Defending champions advance to play the United States in championship game at Vancouver. It's a rematch of the 2011 championship game in Germany when Japan won on penalty kicks after a 2-2 draw. Now, St. Simons native Morgan Bryant should be ready to go for the final on Sunday. Scary moment in the 29th minute of last night's World Cup game against Germany. And Brian and Alexandra Pope collide. Both players were checked, and neither had a concussion. Performance Initiatives is coming off a big weekend at the National Youth Weightlifting Championship. Terry Robertson Jr. wins gold, and the team adds 5 silvers, 8 bronze medals. The boys' 14 and 15-year-old team is 2nd place overall. Now, the Bowling Allgood brothers have been lighting up the lanes locally for many years. Our Rick Snow tells us they keep their passion for the game going with the competition of leagues and tournaments.
That is a sound you'll hear a lot when Chris and Kevin Allgood are on the lanes. The brothers have been bowling all their lives.
Oh, I got into it going out to the bowling alley with my parents, watching them bowl. And I started bowling in the youth leagues, and I've been bowling ever since.
Being out there every Saturday morning watching my brother, ever since I was 5, I've been doing it and loving it.
They try to help each other on nights when they bowl on the same team, but that doesn't mean there isn't a friendly rivalry there.
Oh yeah, all the time. I always think I'm the better one, and he thinks different, so.
Who is?
Oh, I definitely am.
That rivalry comes out especially in the race for perfect games. After all, they each have 12.
Oh yeah, it's just like motivation. If he shoots one, I feel like I got to catch right back up. So and feel the same way for him too.
Oh yeah, we keep track of all of our 300s, 800s. We keep track to see who's in first and everything, averages and all.
Rick Snow, WTOC Sports.
And how about Serena Williams? On track for the third Grand Slam title this year. Number one player wins straight sets over Tamia Babos, 6-4, 6-1, as Williams advances to the third round. She's chasing history as Steffi Graf, one of the last player to win a true Grand Slam. That was back in 1988. So,
as well as Williams has played, for as long as Williams has played, I can't believe she's chasing any records at this point.
A lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, we're not even halfway through the fortnight yet.
That's true. That's
I
true.
like saying fortnight.
I know you do. You say it a lot.
You sound good saying it,
Thank
too.
you. All right, Ken, thanks.
We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
And continuing to follow that breaking news tonight from downtown Savannah, as you can see, the scene is still active. This as crews begin to clean up the shrapnel left behind after that truck exploded near Franklin Square.
Now, right now, we know that the truck was carrying several tanks of pressurized and flammable gas. No one was injured, including the driver. That was the guy in the orange shirt there you saw helping with the cleanup. Multiple roads were shut down, but they're starting to reopen. We know that Franklin Square and City Market are also back open right now, but that area remains closed to pedestrian traffic and also to cars and trucks, of course.
Yeah, the amazing thing about this explosion that happened just around 8:30 this evening is that there were no injuries. Not even the driver of the truck that you see right there as those crews are sweeping up. It looks like he's helping them sweep up a little bit with his foot there, but this is a guy who is probably counting his blessings tonight.
Yeah, he has to just be in shock. I mean, no one expects that to happen.
No.
We think about how fortunate we were with the timing of all this. City Market is always very busy, especially summertime. We're leading up to a holiday, and just think people were just kind of in those hotels and far enough away from it on the streets and the restaurants, and flying debris, the debris path that Sean and Connie showed us a little bit earlier, it truly is a miracle that no one was hit by that debris.
Close to restaurants, close to a couple of hotels, close to the church, of course, and then Franklin Square as well. So, you know, we were on this thing from the very beginning, and we'll continue to be on it, both online and on air.
One last word from Pat about that weather tomorrow.
We got thunderstorms in Jasper County right now.
Thanks a lot, Pat.
All right. Have a good night.